GeoChemical Exploration and Production Corp prospect area for shallow oil exploration is located in Taylor County, Texas, and extends into the surrounding counties. It pridefully boasts 68 top-producing wells that have collectively yielded an impressive 27,251,000 barrels of oil. That is an average of 400,750 barrels of oil per well. In this region of the Permian Basin, the most prolific wells derive from oil channel sands and limestone reservoirs. These reservoirs exhibit exemplary porosity and permeability that directly equates to much higher ultimate oil and gas recovery per acre foot, with typical reservoir sizes ranging from 10 to over 100 acres. This is truly big oil pay dirt that is inexpensive to go after. We have good reasons to believe that we can replicate and perhaps even surpass these results. With GeoChemical Exploration and Production Corp's handheld gas spectrometer may possibly be the only oil exploration tool to find the small but highly productive oil channel sands and limestone reservoirs that come and go quickly through this area. Within our prospect area, the oil production is of exceptional quality, meeting the criteria for world-class standards. This indicates a significant potential for a high return on investment. It's important to emphasize that approximately 8,000 barrels of oil are required to achieve well payout, highlighting the substantial nature of the opportunity. Transitioning from the top 68 wells prominently featured to the region of the Permian Basin that encompasses 32,834 vertical wells drilled and yielded a prevailing 577 million barrels of oil and 730 billion cubic feet of natural gas within the 7,366 square mile section. This fantastic amount of data can now be harnessed with new artificial intelligence technology to guide us to the most favorable areas to conduct our new cutting-edge soil gas survey endeavors. The productive wells in our area of interest reported that the average well produced approximately 32,000 barrels of oil and 60 million cubic feet of natural gas, resulting in an impressive return on investment of just over 400% at the current oil and gas prices. Investopedia direct quote, oil, a big investment with big tax breaks. The U.S. government offers tax breaks to oil and gas investors to encourage domestic energy production and economic growth. This calculation takes into account the highly favorable tax treatment, truly tailor-made for high-income taxpayers. They are able to deduct intangible drilling costs 100% against their active income, resulting in a consequential reduction of their federal and state tax burden. Other 100% tax-deductible costs include lease costs, sales expenses, legal expenses, administrative accounting, and lease operating costs. Investors can also deduct 15% of their gross revenue from oil and gas properties as a percentage depletion. This allowance can shelter 15% of annual production from income tax. All these deductions can be claimed even if the well is commercially productive and sending out substantial monthly revenue. This comprehensive chart illustrates the oil production of our prospect area from 1935 to 2024. With the advent of the rotary drilling rig, which utilized advanced rotary drill bits and water-based drilling mud, along with the newly developed blowout preventer, drilling became significantly faster and safer with geometrically less cost than the traditional cable tool method. Open-hole electric logging advancements also played a big part in improving oil exploration. By 1939, because of these developments, oil production had skyrocketed to 24,822 barrels per month from 126 wells, a nearly tenfold increase. Then, in July 1953, production surged to over 238,000 barrels per month, marking another astounding tenfold increase in just 14 years. This significant oil production was achieved by mostly wildcat drilling. Seismic activity was shot in this area of the Permian Basin. However, it was largely ineffective, and a few of the more advanced oil exploration companies drilled distinctive surface anomalies with geochemistry as their primary exploration tool, which proved to be the most effective combination. In 1972, oil production in our area of interest reached its peak at a jaw-dropping 1,407,779 barrels per month, derived from 3,311 active producing wells. Subsequently, the onset of the oil bust in our prospect area was officially marked in October 1975, where the monthly oil production figure stood at 1,354,920 barrels of oil. However, by June 1980, it had sharply declined to 629,000 barrels per month. This reflected a reduction of almost 750,000 barrels over the course of 4.5 years. Also, by the 1980s, unfortunately, the Texas economy went from boom to bust and was virtually crippled by the recessions that started in 1980 through 1990, devastating the oil, real estate, and banking industries. During this period in time, the number of drilling rigs decreased drastically from 4,500 active rigs in 1981 to a gut-wrenching drop to 663 active drilling rigs by July 1986, with oil field equipment being sold for scrap. The substantial decline in production can be attributed to the discovery of several large oil fields in our prospect area. Successful oil companies that made these discoveries chose to allocate their drilling budgets to the development of the existing fields rather than risking capital in new exploration endeavors. Conversely, companies that were unsuccessful in finding new oil fields experienced a waning investor appetite for financing wildcat drilling operations. However, the overarching reason for the significant decrease in conventional oil production from vertical wells, which are by far the most profitable, can be attributed to the lack of development of an exploration tool that could consistently find conventional commercial oil. This remains the #1 problem in the oil and gas industry. Conventional oil production in the United States peaked in November 1970 at 10 million barrels of oil per day. Despite its long history, the availability of conventional oil is diminishing. Many of the United States mega oil fields that were easily accessible have been heavily exploited, leading to a dangerous decline in easy-to-reach conventional oil reserves. This reality has given rise to the most expensive and complicated unconventional oil extraction techniques, such as horizontal drilling and multi-stage shale fracking. In the late 1980s and 1990s, 3D seismic surveys were the most advanced technology in oil exploration at the time. It was tremendously successful, mainly in offshore exploration applications. In the mid-1990s, extensive 3D seismic surveys were undertaken across millions of acres in our prospect area at a cost of millions of dollars, with the aim of identifying substantial untapped oil reserves. Regrettably, these endeavors yielded limited success. Due to the limitations of 3D seismic imaging, permeable channel sands or point bars cannot be identified, and structural changes under 30 feet cannot be detected using seismic technology. The oil production from these 7 counties in the Permian Basin, known for its shallow oil production, currently produces 123,772 barrels per month, translating to about 4,125 barrels per day. There's been a significant decrease in oil production over the past 52 years. In July 1972, the peak production reached 1,407,779 barrels per month. It is worth noting that monthly oil production has tapered off 50% since 2019, signifying a consistent downward trend in oil output over the past 5 years. The present circumstances provide a substantial opportunity for GeoChemical Exploration and Production Corp. And its joint venture partners. The limited presence of other oil exploration companies in this area means a vast expanse of openly available acreage for drilling, offering the potential to discover commercially viable oil fields. Moreover, the scarcity of competition has led to a considerable reduction in mineral lease costs, making it a highly advantageous situation for exploration and production activities. For example, we recently acquired the Cox 60-acre mineral lease in Taylor County, Texas, for a mere $45 per acre bonus, with a 1/8 mineral lease. We paid a $50 bonus per acre and a 3/16 mineral lease on the Dettman lease that will be drilling soon. A low lease bonus cost per acre and a high net revenue interest directly translate into faster well payouts and substantially improve returns on investment. Within our prospect area, mineral leases are easily obtained with a low lease bonus cost and high net revenue. Drilling only shallow, inexpensive wells that are cost-effective, uncomplicated, and can be highly profitable when commercially successful. This is the ideal situation for GeoChemical Exploration and Production Corp to utilize its new handheld gas spectrometer that measures gas seepage at the surface in real time, revolutionizing shallow oil drilling possibilities. Implementing a time-consuming, costly, tight grid method of soil gas sampling in this vast prospect area, with 300 feet of spacing between sample points, greatly increases the chances of finding small but highly productive oil channel sands that meander through this area. This approach also significantly reduces exploration risk and aids in preventing the drilling of costly dry holes while focusing on areas with a higher potential for discovering profitable oil wells. Our cutting-edge technology may be the only tool that will be able to find the small but highly productive oil channel sands that meander through this area. One of the most intriguing facets of our technology is its ability to capture measurable gas seeps from the oil reservoir itself at the surface in real time. Micro seepage is the Earth's own whisper, conveying where to drill for hidden oil reservoir potential. Geochemical exploration enables us to target the most promising area with high potential for commercially viable oil reservoirs. Your investment has the potential to unlock substantial returns, supported by the intelligent selection of drilling locations. Investing in our drilling ventures, generated by our soil gas sampling technology, means minimizing risks, increasing the chances of striking oil, and possibly reaping substantial long-term monthly cash flow. With any questions, contact Managing Partner Rich Quinn, an accomplished and highly skilled professional with over 31 years of experience in upstream oil and gas exploration and finance. He has spent 26 of those years specializing in petroleum geochemistry, which has given him an in-depth understanding of how to identify the most promising oil exploration targets while minimizing financial risks. Rich and his team have strategically developed a new process utilizing GeoChemical Corp's new handheld gas spectrometer that enables real-time tracking of soil gas seepage, revolutionizing shallow oil drilling possibilities. You can call Rich Quinn at 972-489-7054 or email with any questions about the current drilling ventures.
Please note that the following video, which includes oil and gas well data figures and geological and geophysical reports, is intended to provide support information to drill behind GeoChemical Exploration and Production Corp. New handheld gas spectrometer. All maps displayed in the video may not be 100% to scale. Diagrams that are featured are based on certain assumptions that unfortunately may not come to fruition. Be ever mindful that exploration for oil and gas is speculative by its very nature and involves a high risk of financial loss. In the past, a large number of wells that are drilled result in dry holes, and others do not produce oil or gas in sufficient quantities to make them commercially profitable to complete and/or produce. Many risks are involved that experience, knowledge, scientific information, and careful evaluation cannot avoid. Since initial capitalization will be sufficient to drill only the prospect wells, the drilling of a dry hole, or in the most unlikely event of loss of a well in progress due to mechanical difficulties, would mean that the venturers would receive no return on the venture from the non-productive well. Drilling a dry hole and completing a well that has a limited oil reservoir is far and away the number one risk. GeoChemical Exploration and Production Corp believes its handheld gas spectrometer will greatly reduce the risk of drilling dry holes and completing a well that has a limited oil reservoir. However, that cannot be guaranteed, and the fact of the matter is it is still very much a risk. All information regarding oil and gas production from oil and gas fields and individual oil wells, including the actual production figures, was obtained from various sources such as the Texas Railroad Commission, well data reporting companies, and other sources, which cannot be guaranteed to be 100% accurate. GeoChemical Exploration and Production Corp. is professional team, has gone to great lengths to research information so that the diagrams and information presented in this video are portrayed with the utmost accuracy. Thank you for your time and giving this your consideration.